adventurers, explorers, travelers. It's Eric. I'm trying not to go into my usual. I've been doing another channel, the Misty Mountain Gaming channel, for over 5 years. So it's hard to not get into that like state of mind. Alrighty, guys and gals, what's going on, this Biggie here, like that kind of thing. Anyway, how are you guys and gals? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Just a little update here. So we had the first adventure, my first adventure on the channel, and it didn't go, it wasn't a flawless adventure, if that's even possible. I had some car trouble, which kind of made things a little bit, well, sucky, quite honestly. But I'm trying to look at positives. I left the house. I got in the car. I went downtown. I got out of the car. I got footage, even though I'm going to be redoing the Silver City tour because it was too much camera shake. I do have a gimbal. I got it. It's actually pretty cool looking. It's kind of big. Well, it's not that big, but it's kind of awkward, but it keeps the camera perfectly still. It's a 3-point motorized gimbal. Wasn't really cheap. Well, for most people, it's probably cheap. For me, it's not. But so I'm going to redo that tour. But anyway, the point is I got out and I walked around town and went to Lake Roberts and got some great footage with the drone. It was a good day up until I got back into the car and the tire was flat, and there's a whole video on that. But I'm thinking about what I want to do next. You guys can join me. So I have an idea of what I want to do. I just haven't made up my mind where I want to do, where I want to do it, where I want to go. So what I'm going to do, I think, is a primitive camping trip, either one night or 2 nights, literally in a tent. I have a tent that I've had for 15 years, and I've literally used it one time. I set it up one time when I was still living in Virginia in a yard. So it's basically brand new. I have all the stuff. I've got a sleeping bag, and I've got a little mat that the sleeping bag goes onto. I've got a camping light. I've got all of it. I've got all of the gear, and I didn't really think about it. I mean, I haven't really thought about it in a while, but I was trying to figure out what I want to do, So I think that's what we're going to do. And I'm either going to do it here, where in my area in Silver City, the Gila Forest is to the north, and they do have camping up there. We might go up there. I'm also thinking about actually going all the way up to Santa Fe. It's quite the drive from here, but it's beautiful country up there. And they have, what they call primitive campsites or whatever. Apologies if I'm like slurring words, not slurring them, but I'm literally just got back from the dentist. This whole side of my face is numb, my lip, the tongue. You guys know how that is. It's so weird feeling. That dentist story, that could be a whole nother video. Boy, that was rough. Novocaine wasn't working, and it was just bad. But this isn't a place for nightmares here. So I'm going to try to figure out what I want to do, where I want to go. Most likely, I'm just going to go to the Gila Forest, because I've never actually seen the Gila cliff dwellings up there. I've driven through that forest several times. It's this windy road up through the mountains. It's a beautiful drive. Might do that. We'll see. And lots of other things coming up. I want to take you guys to Roswell, New Mexico. I'm sure everybody's heard of that. I have been to Roswell once. It's an interesting little place. I mean, it's kind of what you would expect. They're kind of... it's a tourist lure, basically, a lure, right? There's a lot of kind of corny shit there, but there's some pretty cool stuff there too as well. But we can check out the main town and then maybe find some little odd places on the side or something. So Roswell is the place I want to go. Albuquerque, New Mexico is, there are some beautiful areas in Albuquerque. I was up there several weeks back when I got the crazy idea in my head to move to Albuquerque from Silver City, and I spent a week there, and then I came back to where I am now. And it cost me quite a bit of money because I had to break a lease. It was a whole thing. But while I was there, I went up on the Sandia tram, and I had never done that before. And I may do that again and take my little camera and stuff. The only problem I foresee with me taking a tram is you're packed into one of those gondolas with like 30 people, and it's just, there's no, like, I can't, it would be so fucking awkward to be holding this thing and talking while there's 30 people right next to me. I honestly don't think I could do it. I just don't have that kind of courage, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. There's also, sometimes there's like a guide that gets onto the gondola, and he does like a little spiel. There's a plane crash you can see that happened like 25 years ago. Nobody survived it, but you can see it from, I don't know how far down it is, 600-700 feet, but you can see shiny bits of the aircraft that crashed. So he does look little things like that and a little spiel. So I don't know that the recording that would work, but after I get up there, that might work. So that's an idea too. There's all kinds of little cool towns in New Mexico. There are several ghost towns that we could visit. One is way up near Taos. There's one close to me, Santa Rita, and I may have mentioned that already, but that's where I used to go out there to clean gravestones, hundreds of years old, these gravestones. It's a ghost town. There's nobody there, and the graveyard hasn't been used. I don't think it's been used since the 80s, but it goes back to the mid 1800s, I think. But anyway, we could go out there. Not much to see. There's a couple of massive mines here. I can't remember the name of them, but there's basically two mines relatively close to where I live. It's not like I can go in there, but there's areas where you can film and stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know if you guys have ever seen an actual working mine, but it's kind of incredible, the scope of it. I don't know if I would be allowed to fly a drone there. I'd have to look into that. But we'll see. So this is another thing, with now that I have the drone, and I've literally flown it twice, wherever I go, hopefully I can also go to a place where I can get some kind of like cool drone footage. And I think this is how I'll do the videos in the future is, maybe I kind of, like I said, the point of the channel, selfishly, is mostly for me trying to but find ways to work through this severe anxiety that I have about, like, it's borderline agoraphobia, which I've mentioned. Lots of weird things about just being outside, and especially around people, being seen. So, maybe these videos, it's a little bit of before, like maybe the night before or the morning of, a little bit of the drive, obviously footage when we get there, and then some drone footage, and then maybe like a wrap up or something like that at the end. And I do like the idea that I came up with of maybe trying to set like a goal for myself. Whether I complete the goal or not, that's not as important to me as the fact that I went out and did it. That in itself is a goal. I guess me trying to do like one extra thing maybe would be like, I don't know, a little icing on the cake, or however you want to word that. So we'll see what happens there. Tonight I'm gonna get into that closet. I remember when I moved, a big bag, and I was like, what in the hell is even in this? And I just looked in, and it's like, oh, this is my camping stuff. So I'm gonna pull that stuff out and make sure, it's all good to go. But like I said, it's basically brand new, and I've never camped in it. Another thing we might do is do some kayaking. I love to kayak, and I haven't done it in a couple years. I did a few years ago, and it's on. I have a video on my Misty Mountain Gaming channel, which so before what I was doing, and I probably will still do it. There's some IRL stuff there, like me working on my car, me going to the gym, things like that. And I would just throw these random videos in. I think this is a better outlet. Although the people on my gaming channel they do seem to enjoy, seeing like who I am. And, I think, I know for me personally, I mean, there's no gaming channel that I watch where you get to see somebody's personal side, right? And maybe that's for the best. I don't know. For me personally, I tend to connect with people who share a little bit about themselves, what they're doing, not just, playing the video game. But I understand that a lot of people, that's all they want, right? But my personality always kind of comes out no matter what game I'm playing over there. And so maybe this is a better outlet or avenue for me to do this IRL stuff. Anyway, I never have a script. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I just kind of start talking, and that's what you get. I'm also not a fan of like very highly polished, glossy channels. You know what I mean? Where I don't know, man. It just really seems like somebody's doing a commercial, It doesn't really feel like because it's so refined and bullet pointed and all of the flashy bullshit on the screen and then fucking music and stupid cutscenes. I have such a hard time watching anything like that connecting with somebody because it just feels like a gimmick. It just feels like they're, you know what I mean? I want to watch somebody who, no matter what the video is, I could be like, if I'm looking up, like I was just recently looking up electric bikes, like how much they are and what to look for. Every video that I watched, it was just like some sales pitch, man. You didn't feel like you were watching anyone who was trying to do anything other than to get you to subscribe, which they always say, don't forget to subscribe and like, right? Like people don't know how YouTube works. With a bunch of shit on the screen, it's just, it's so hard to watch something like that for me personally. Anyway, I guess the point is, if you're here and you're watching, and especially, if you have subscribed or whatever, then you obviously like this format where it's just random. I am not a professional YouTuber, even though I've been YouTubing for, like I said, over 5 years now. I think I actually missed the 5-year anniversary. I think it's April 19th, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but yeah, that's 5 years. So I just do this because while I'm a big gamer, I love playing video games. That's why there's the Misty Mountain Gaming channel, and people just happen to start watching, and I have channel members, and people seem to enjoy it. I do have a bad habit of being a little bit opinionated on things, and despite me saying so many times, I'm going to try to do better and not talk about stuff, it just never happens. It's just my personality. So anyway, like I said, the point of this channel is to help me break through barriers and force myself to do stuff and to go outside, because otherwise I will spend the rest of my life by myself in a tiny place with not really any life, just behind the camera here recording stuff. And I want more than that. And my life used to be a lot different than it is now. Much different. I was married and, all kinds of things. These days it's, I'm a pretty solitary person. But like I said, I'm trying to get better, and I'm trying to break boundaries and kind of just step out of my comfort zone and see what happens, right? I mean, despite the flat tire and like the 8 or 9 hours that I dealt with the car, there were like 3 hours there where it was just lovely. I was around people and I was walking around, and it just, under my anxiety, because I was very anxious, I was trying not to show it and, not let my voice show it. I mean, my hand was a mess, but this hand always shakes anyway. But that's what the gimbal's for. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be holding stuff with this hand. It's just so difficult for me to remember here. But under the anxiety and all of that, it was a good feeling to just be doing things that I guess most people do, you know. And who knows what could happen here, I see a therapist every week. I have been seeing a therapist on and off pretty much my whole life. I mean, I started seeing a therapist, I think I was 12 years old, because I just had, you know, it was just difficult. I didn't have the best childhood and upbringing. And a lot of those things I carry with me still to this day. And therapy these days it's really about just being able to speak to somebody and have a third party input or view of something I might say or how I react. And it's a little bit grounding. I don't think I am ever going to be like most people as far as my reactions, because I have such a trauma-based reaction in situations where, there's this fight or flight thing. There's also freeze, but all the same stuff, right? Pretty much. Most people get to those places under extreme conditions. With me, it can be something as somebody knocks on the door, the phone rings, and I'm not expecting it. It's these type of things, or when I am able to go out and I have to go into a store or something and there's just too many people and there's the noise. It's just this overwhelming thing that happens, and I'm literally, is it cortisol levels? I don't know what it is, just raging. Like I'm in like survival mode, and it's so hard to explain that. And it's very difficult also to understand and to know that this is happening. And, this is all part of my shit. This is all part of trauma. And it manifests in different ways. When I was younger, I would just fight. I would get into fights. I mean, I've been in hundreds and hundreds of fights in the ring and out of the ring. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to, I'm too old to do MMA fighting anymore, right? And there's not really any place for me to do, like, jujitsu is my thing. That's what I did for years. There's not really any jujitsu here in Silver City. There's a little karate studio, and a judo studio, which I thought about going down to see, but all of that, that's still in me. But there's more of just this general anxiety and fear of the outside and people. And I don't know that will ever go away, but I do feel like the more that I do for myself, whether it is therapy or leaving the house or making a plan, maybe I don't do everything, baby steps, right? But, last weekend was the prime example where I did go, and that's something I never would have done. I just would not have done it despite making plans. So this channel is going to help me because, I have all this stuff. I've invested in it, and I want to do it. I don't want to make an excuse, right? But now, like, I'm going to make a video out of this, and I'm going to make it a thing. And, this is something I can look back on 2 years from now and maybe not even recognize, some of the things I'm talking about. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm saying. It's going to be a healing journey. This is the best case scenario. a healing journey for me. And who knows, maybe I meet somebody or I make a friend, or I have a conversation with somebody outside in the real world in a different place. It could happen. And I think those things are what makes life beautiful. Those unexpected, random moments of connection, whatever it might be, these are the things that make memories and that you remember and that feel good. And I don't have those right now. So that's what I want. So maybe you guys will join me on another adventure. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to do it. We've got rain for the next week, I think. It was actually just pouring rain for the last couple hours. The streets here it was like floods. It was insane because it gets so dry here and then it rains really hard all of a sudden. And then the ground just doesn't absorb it. And it literally washes boulders and stuff down the street. It's kind of nuts because right up here facing west outside my house, it just goes up kind of off into the desert and high hills and stuff, and it washes shit down. But anyway, the point there was when the weather, we get some good weather come back in, then I'm gonna do the trip. We'll do a little camping and see how that goes, right? We'll split it up. I'll go into town for a little bit, and then I'll maybe I'll stay in a hotel one night, and then the next night I'll go camping. We'll see if I can handle that. Anyway, so that's the plan. It's tentative. I want to go camping, and I want to go to a place. Maybe I'll lock in where I go. And maybe this could be a whole different series, another playlist on the channel is camping, right? We can do towns and road trips and things, and then, separate playlist is all the stuff I do camping wise. Maybe. Same thing with drone. I probably end up doing that. There'll probably be a couple of playlists in case anybody's interested in a specific thing. So anyway, the mouth should be unnumb here, hopefully in a couple hours. But anyway, I'm going to go. I just wanted to say hello and thanks for the people who have subscribed. I have a feeling they're mostly people from my gaming channel, but if you just happen to find this weird ass channel and you subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm not in this for subscriptions or likes. Like I said, the channel's a bit selfish. It's a lot for me, but if I can make a connection with somebody out there, or they recognize something in themselves, maybe they have anxiety, maybe you have anxiety, depression, whatever it might be, this is one of the benefits of social media. I don't use any other social media. I don't use Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or any of that. YouTube is all that I use. But I think for the most part, it can be toxic. The doom scrolling and people are so extreme with horrible comments and, with this thumbs up and thumbs down thing, man, you basically tell somebody, I know you spent an hour here. I like it. Or everything you said and did, I don't even, just thumbs down. You know what I mean? It's so toxic. I wish that wasn't a thing. What I like about YouTube and this media and the way that I use it are these connections. I have made friends on this virtually, man. I have made friends with some of you guys, and I have some people who have been with me on the other channel since I started nearly. Matthew and Loon, there's so many people. Touch Me Nancy and Bill and David. Jemmy. There are just so many people. And that means a lot to me, as silly as it might sound. But obviously, I've did something that they enjoyed, and that's what I want this to be. I want it to be, you're going to see some awkward shit from me. You're going to see panicking, and I'm going to do my best to not, try to mask or edit too much out. I mean, if I like break down or something like that, that's might be a little bit different. But I don't want to be. This isn't going to be overly dramatic. I just want to be as real as I can with myself as well, and that's an important thing to say. I need to be honest and open with myself about what's going on and what I'm feeling. I'm not going to try to put on some show or because that just wouldn't feel good to do. It would, I'm not, like I said, I'm not in this for subscriptions and likes. If I get those, that's wonderful because that it increases, who might see it and who I might connect with or whatever. So anyway, enough rambling. Unbelievable. This was supposed to be a 10-minute video and we're 25 minutes in. I do this quite a bit. Anyway, love you guys. Take care. I'll see you on the next adventure. Peace.